So good morning. My name is Chris Staff. I'm the Director of Public Affairs for the Albertsons Safeway Denver Division, and welcome to our Highlands Ranch store. Lots of guests here. Great announcement today, and I'm just going to ask everyone if you could maybe just kind of socially distance just a little bit. I think this is more people than we've had at a grand opening. So again, appreciate everybody being here. I'm going to turn it over to Todd Broderick. He is our division president for the Albertsons Safeway Denver Division, representing over 100 stores here in Colorado. And Todd, with that, if you want to come on up.
Sure, and thank you, Chris. Listen, I just wanted to take a couple moments to thank the Douglas County Sheriff Department and helping us lead this charge on the type of fraud that's taking place. Just as a division, we have probably prevented well over $100,000 of potential fraud just in 2020. And through the support of the Douglas County Sheriff and throughout all of Colorado, I think that we have a unique position to put a stop to this and or minimize it. And a lot of it is just with education. When we find that we're able to stop it, it's stopped at the check stand through our employees who have been trained on cues to look for. And unfortunately, when this fraud takes place, it's usually with people that are very vulnerable within our communities, and they're scared. And so, you know, the message here is that there is no business in Colorado from our sheriff's departments to any other type of government agency that would ever ask any of our citizens to pay something that might be owed to them through the use of a gift card. So again, I just wanted to thank our partners with the Douglas County Sheriff and the level of importance that they see this and prevent as much of it as we possibly can. So Chris, thank you very much, and thanks again for the partnership.
Thank you, Todd. I would like to now turn this over to Chief Deputy Duffy with Douglas County Sheriff's Office. Chief Deputy.
Thanks, Chris, and I want to just thank everybody for coming today. This is a unique opportunity, I think, for here in Douglas County, but throughout the entire state of Colorado, to show a partnership between law enforcement, the district attorney's office, and local and businesses like Albertsons and Safeway. And we're very excited to be part of this unique new opportunity. One of the things that we have seen is we get about 4 or 5 of these cases a week, and we're not talking about $50 or $100. We're talking where we're seeing people buying anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000 worth of gift cards because someone over the phone has convinced them that either they have a warrant for them or that they've missed a jury selection, or one of their loved ones is in the hospital or is in a jail out of state, and they need these gift cards to pay that fine or debt. And as was said earlier, that simply does not happen. Law enforcement doesn't do that. Retail doesn't do that. No government agency asks for anyone to pay a fine or a debt using gift cards. So one of the most important things is Albertsons and Safeway put together these signs for us to put up at their displays because many of our vulnerable victims don't have access or are not using some of the social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and those type of things. So the word hasn't gotten to them. So these right here are going to be the message that can be given along with flyers that can be given at the customer service desk if somebody comes up and tries to purchase a large amount of gift cards. This store, for example, just most recently had someone come in and try to buy $2,000 worth of gift cards to pay one of these fraudulent debts or claims. And the staff here who have been trained were able to talk to that person and get them to understand this is a scam, and they literally saved them thousands of dollars. So we are just so excited to be partnering with our local retailers, and this is a unique opportunity, and we hope to see this spread throughout all retailers in the state of Colorado. So thank you very much.
Thank you. David Montoya is the Director of Asset Protection for Albertson Safeway Denver Division. And David, why don't you walk us through it?
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. So here's what we're doing at Albertson Safeway and in this division, and we've been doing it since 2018. We're aggressively training all of our employees on the cues and techniques that these scammers use in order to protect our customers, right? We want our customers coming back. We want them to feel safe in our store. So really, here's what we're doing. Aside from the project we've got with Douglas County, and I want to thank our partners with Lone Tree, Parker, and Castle Rock. When you go into the stores, you're going to see their badges and their emblems. As the Deputy Chief was saying, if we think you're being scanned, we're also going to give you one of these handouts with their phone number on it as a way to get you to call them and figure out what exactly is going on. So in our stores, in Douglas County and the rest of our division, you're also going to see this sign. And this is the sign that, as the Deputy Chief was talking about, for our elderly population who is in our social media, can quickly read some of what these scammers are using for techniques, right, in order to get them to buy these gift cards. You know, as consumers, we've done a great job of protecting our credit card numbers. We would never give a credit card number to a stranger, right? Well, we don't do so well when it comes to our gift cards, giving those gift card numbers out. So if you could look at those from the standpoint of a credit card, you don't want to give that number out to a stranger. So again, these are the keys that we're going to be looking for, and these are the keys that our employees are trained with. And really, at the end of the day, our associates are here to help you. And if you've got a question, we're going to turn you over to our law enforcement partners to help you through that. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, David. I'd like to bring up Chris Howes, who's the Executive Director of the Colorado Retail Council, representing pretty much all retailers across the state of Colorado. Chris?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Chris. I just wanted to say that my name is Chris Howes. I'm the president of the Colorado Retail Council. Our association represents pharmacies, home improvement stores, big box stores, of course, grocers, and they all sell gift cards to their customers, of course. So this is a really important issue for our members, and it's just incredibly unfortunate that this is a problem right now. We've got so many people unemployed, we've got businesses going bankrupt, and it's just a time where so many people find themselves in a challenging financial position, and it's really unfortunate that we have scammers preying on folks who are just having a tough time during COVID. So we're happy to be here today, share some information with our friends in law enforcement and the media on what's going on. Gift cards are wildly popular with customers. According to a survey conducted by the National Retail Federation, for the 13th year in a row, gift cards are the most popular items on wish lists, with 59% of Americans requesting a gift card. So I'm happy to be here today. What are our members doing to prevent gift card scams? Well, they're actively training their employees to engage with customers at the point of sale to ensure that they're not being scammed, to generally be on the lookout for people who may be buying gift cards while in the midst of being defrauded. They may be in crisis. Other measures include some of our retailers lower the maximum amount of money that people can load onto gift cards in one transaction, or they place new restrictions on scammers using gift cards to buy other cards. Our retail council members are actively collaborating with our friends at the National Association of Attorneys General, AARP, and other groups to create public service announcements to get the word out to watch out. So we urge Coloradans to educate themselves against these scams, and you can find more information at the Federal Trade Commission government website, www.consumer.ftc.gov. And here's a simple saying to remember to protect yourself and all your loved ones. Anyone who demands payment by gift card is always a scammer. So just remember that. And for our friends in the media, I've got some other sources I'm happy to share with you if you need some background. But Appreciate the invitation today, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. As Chris mentioned, every retailer every day is part of the gift card scam. And it can be our most vulnerable customers, or it can be, a young professional. With that, I want to close it out with District Attorney John Kellner. Say a few words, and then we'll take it for some questions.
All right, thank you, Chris, and thank you everyone for coming out here today. There is no question whatsoever that these scammers are out there and they are preying on the most vulnerable and trusting people in our community. Oftentimes that means elderly populations, folks that are not connected as much on social media. That means people that are not getting the word out. And so I am so honored to partner with our local law enforcement and business leaders like Albertsons and Safeway to do this hard work of preventing crime from occurring. Because there's no doubt that we will prosecute scammers that are brought to our attention by law enforcement. But prevention through education and through reaching out and saying, hey, look, maybe there's intervention over at that cash register, and just saying, consider you might be getting scammed. We are so honored to be part of this collaborative process to prevent crime victims from even coming up into our office and becoming cases and a docket in court. So thank you so much for leading the way. We truly hope that other local business leaders take this effort as a sign that this is something you should get on board with. So thank you very much. We're honored to be part of it.
Thank you, John. And a big thank you to our partners here from Douglas County. And with that, I'd like to open it up for questions, and we can bring up any of our speakers here. So if you have any questions, I'm going to just kind of open it up.
David, I think you can probably.
What was the question, sir?
Some of the tips, recommendations for people to know as far as how to not fall victim of a fraud of this type.
Right, so as you heard earlier, gift cards are for gifts. They are not for payments. Don't use a gift card to pay a bill. There is no legitimate business or government agency who's going to ask you, much less demand you to pay a bill via a gift card. What I would say to you is that these scammers are depending on the fact that if you get scammed, you're going to be too embarrassed or ashamed to report it. Well, we want you to report it. We want you to fight back by reporting it. And you can report it in 3 different ways. The first way is to the Federal Trade Commission, and you can report that by going to reportfraud.ftc.gov. We also want you to report it to your local law enforcement agency. In this case would be Douglas County. And we also want you to report it to the gift card that you were defrauded. So if you happen to have a Sephora card, for example, we want you to call that company, right? Reporting is important because it helps the retailers, it helps the credit card companies and our law enforcement and prosecuting partners to identify the schemes and the ploys that these folks are using so we can get it out in the form of education and prevention that keep the scams from happening. And again, really the reason for this sign in every one of our stores is it gives you the sort of 4 key points on what to look for that will tell you you're likely being scammed. Having said that, we've got almost every employee in our stores trained to look for these clues, to have a conversation with the customers and help you through that.
What are some of those things that you're training them to look for? I mean, I see the 4 things on the board, but what are some of the other things that you teach them to look for when they're getting,
So,
when they think someone's being defrauded?
sure, one of the keys is these scammers love to keep their victims on the phone. They're very persuasive, right? And really, they don't want the customer what will be a victim talking to anybody who's more objective, right? So that's the idea, that they keep them on the phone. And so our employees are looking for that, right? Is there someone on the phone with this customer? We've had situations where our employee will ask, may I ask who's on the phone with you? And the customer will say, well, they told me not to tell you. Or they told me not to talk to you, but I need to buy $2,000 worth of gift cards. Well, that's a clue for us, right? That's a red flag for us. So really, it's the pressure that these people are using. It's really all social engineering. We've had people calling saying they're from the Douglas County Sheriff's and that you need to pay a bill or you're going to go to jail if you don't pay a ticket, for example. Recently, we had XL Energy reach out to one of our customers, and they were going to turn their power off if they didn't pay for the bill. Social Security calling to say, hey, we think you're a victim of identity theft, and if you give us $5,000, we'll help you fix it. These are all scams, and at the end of the day, if anyone is asking to use a gift card to pay any kind of a bill that you didn't initiate the call for, it's a scam, right? So if you get a call, your best bet is to tell them you're going to call them back to make sure they're legitimate and not an imposter, for example.
Hey, David, if I could just
Yes.
if I could just elaborate too. XL Energy didn't call it with somebody posing as XL Energy, but beyond that, and like the deputy chief mentioned, one of the tactics is the amount. So it isn't $25 or $50 or $100. We're talking in anywhere from $1,000, $2,000. We've had them all the way up to $6,000. And so through the training that all of our cashiers go through, and like David mentioned, there's a lot of different signs and cues that we look for and hopefully prevent as many as we can. The concern is that may shift the person on the phone or the scammer to ask this potential victim to go somewhere other than one of our stores. And so, like the deputy chief and the DA mentioned, we need all retailers to do the same to help prevent this.
Any other questions? And I think all of our speakers are available for interviews individually. So thank you all for coming. This is an important topic, important message, and couldn't do it without your support. And again, thank you for being here at our Highlands Ranch Safeway store. Maybe a little social distance
Sure.
right here.
Of course.
Yeah. Maybe,
You guys did great.
oh,
You guys did a good job. Good job.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, we gotta take a picture with you. We'll get the law enforcement group. No?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's a
You
good
two-
idea, Dave.
Yes.
David, why don't you two in the
You guys,
middle?
you guys are there.
Yeah.
Here with the law enforcement prosecutors. Go. Slide.
It's just always weird. It's such a habit to smile with a mask on when you're taking a picture.
Make happy eyes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
We still have father.
Yeah.
He's
It used to be if you walked in a store looking like this, you were going to rob the place.
know.
Guys like this would be tackling you.
You know, me and the sheriff were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
That we haven't seen our armed robberies go up.
Yeah.
Because I go into these stores all the time and I'm like, you know, I'm like, God, am I glad I have a gun.
Yeah, seriously. Luckily, we have been on block robbery. We expect our